Hi everyone, welcome to Foundations English. My name is Megan Pedler and I'm the Unit Assessor for this unit. So I just want to give you an introduction to the site. Some of you are in your second session at Southern Cross, and for some of you this will be your first session studying back at university, and we're all studying online this session. So there's a lot going on for some people learning that new mode of study for the first time, and please know that we're here, all of the tutors are here in this unit to support you through that in any way that we can. So I thought I'd start by looking at the unit site that you can see on the screen in front of you. Now, what you'll see when you log in are the announcements. Now, I will post a new announcement on Monday morning every week this session. So on Monday morning every week, you can go in and you'll see an introduction to what you'll be looking at that week. And you'll also see a list of things to do that week. So you'll know exactly what you're up to each week when you come in and have a look at the announcements on that first page. Now, the welcome announcement that's currently there at the time of recording has a very important notice there, and that's to do with signing up for tutorials in this unit, this session. I've already had quite a few emails regarding this, so I want to be very, very clear. In this unit, for this session, all students, whether you are enrolled as on campus or online, must register for an online tutorial on this site. So on the Blackboard site that I currently have open, not in my enrolments and timetables. If you've registered for a tutorial time in my enrolments and timetables, those times are not correct, and there are not enough tutorials scheduled for all of the students in this unit. So therefore, for this session in this unit, you must register for a tutorial time that you will attend for this session on this site that you are currently looking at, so on the Blackboard unit site. The instructions to do that are on this notice that's on the welcome notice, so it tells you where to go and how to do that. It just outlines what's involved, but also you'll see here the tutorial times that are scheduled. Now, if you go in and follow the instructions above and it doesn't show a tutorial time that is listed here, it's because that tutorial time is now full and you'll have to choose another tutorial time. We've done the best that we can to make sure there are multiple offerings in the morning, in the afternoon, and we have 2 evening or late afternoon sessions running, which should cater for all students' needs. So do that as soon as possible. I know that many of you already have, but just to be clear, if in your enrolments it says you haven't enrolled for, it says you haven't enrolled for a class, a tutorial time in this unit, but you have enrolled and registered for one on this site, you are registered for a tutorial time. If you have logged into my enrolments and registered for a tutorial time in there, but not one on this site, you are not currently registered for a tutorial in this unit, okay? Now, it's a bit different how we normally do things, but I'm sure you can appreciate with over 500 of you online just in this unit, which is an exception, things are happening a little bit differently. So this is the way it has to be done this session. I highly recommend that you get in touch with tutors or unit assessors in your other units if you're unsure. I'm sure everyone's written a clear announcement somewhere, or they've communicated to you via email. But if you are unsure, please check. You don't want to get to the beginning of week 1 and find out that you're not actually enrolled in the tutorial you thought that you were. Okay, so as I said, every Monday morning you'll be able to come on here and there'll be an announcement for the week. The tutors in this unit, if you click on contacts on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's me, Megan, and we've also got Lisa Boyd and Lisa Siegel. So you've got a team of 3 tutors. We may have one more coming to our team, but I'll let you know that when I know that for sure. We're going to have to refer to these wonderful women as Lisa B and Lisa S as we go through. Lisa Boyd is based on Lismore campus and Lisa Siegel is based on Coffs Harbour campus. and I'm on the Gold Coast. So as we work through, one more thing, sorry, about the contacts, please note, and I have noted this here and on the welcome announcement as well, all questions need to be posted to the discussion board. So you should not email me as the unit assessor or any of your tutors directly with questions about the unit content or the assessments. All of those questions should be posted on the discussion board, and I'll show you where in a minute. This just supports equity for all students. It means everybody has access to the same information. If a student is privileged by having a private email conversation with one of the tutors and has different information, it's not really fair on everyone else. So for that reason, any questions about the unit content or assessment must be posted on the discussion board. If, of course, you have an issue that's of an urgent nature, a personal nature, anything like that, please don't hesitate to contact us directly by email, and we can either email, we can Zoom, or we can have a chat on the phone. But it's just very important none of those emails direct to tutors are about the unit content and assessment. They all go on the site. So if we click on the unit information guide, you should be familiar with this already and already have had a look. It outlines the structure of this unit. We have 3 modules, so literature, literacy, and language acquisition. Weeks 1 to 3 are literature. Weeks 4 to 6 are literacies, and then language acquisition is our final module, which runs from week 8 to week 11. You also have the assessment due dates and the assessment names, and I'll show you where to find more information about them shortly. It also outlines the expected hours you should be planning for each of your units, and it is essentially 10 hours a week. So for those of you that are full-time, you are planning for 40 hours of study a week. So that includes attending tutorials, doing your weekly readings, working through the unit content, and also your wider reading and research to support your future assessments and your understanding of the unit content. So if we have a look now at the unit content, what you'll see at the top is the study timetable. Now, I highly recommend that you either print this out and stick it up next to your desk, or save it to your desktop somewhere where it's nice and easy to access. Now, this study timetable sets out your readings each week. So you can see week 1, and you should, hopefully, if you've already got access to it, you can already be doing these readings now. You do need to complete the readings for that week before you attend the tutorial. So you won't be given time in the tutorial to do these readings, but we will be talking about them, and the questions that we ask you, you'll find the answers in these readings. So if you've done the readings before you attend, you'll be ready to engage properly in your online tutorial each week. Now you'll notice underneath each reading, there's a page range included. So some of these readings are 20 or 30 pages long. That's not what we're expecting you to read each week. You just have to read what's in the page ranges. And generally it's somewhere between 10 and 12 pages each week. So it's not a huge reading load. So look very carefully at what we're asking you to read and be familiar with. You can see for this particular reading, in week 1, it's only pages 3 and 4. It's literally 2 pages. And the next one is probably 6 or 7. I won't add it up right now. So just read those page ranges. You are more than welcome to read more, and I can't recommend that enough for those of you who really want a better understanding of these particular aspects that we're looking at in each module. They'll also, doing more of the reading will help you in your assessments as well. But I do fully appreciate the situation with many students at the moment. It is hard juggling full-time study, online study, if online study is new, and all the other family and work commitments that take place in our lives. So that's why you've got the page ranges, so you know exactly what you have to read, but I do recommend reading more of those readings as well. My readings is where you can find all of the readings. So you can access them online, or you can download them and save them to your computer. They are also embedded in the unit content. So as you go into the unit content, for each week. And we see here, here's week 1 unit content. There's currently, at the time of recording, weeks 1, 2 and 3 are open in the unit content. So that's module 1 literature that's currently open. And if you go into the unit content, you'll see that, as I've said, the readings are actually embedded in there, and you can click on those links and it'll take you directly to a copy of the reading as well. So there's lots of ways to access the reading. You don't have to just go to one place. So my readings are in the unit content. So discussion board, this is where most of our interactions will take place this session. Hopefully by now, and we can see quite a number of students have, you are going to go and introduce yourself here. So all you need to do is click on the forum link. It says introduce yourself here, so you click on that. And there's some questions here for you to answer. It's so that we can all get to know each other. We can work out which campus you're closest to. You can see who else is near your campus. And they might be students, if this is your second session, that you haven't met before. So it's an opportunity for that. You might see who have kids and who doesn't, who has a similar job to you, who wants to be a secondary teacher, a primary teacher, or who'll be teaching in early childhood, that type of thing. So you've got an opportunity on here to make connections as well. If you want to start a study group online or face-to-face, if there's some people on campus that are at a similar campus to you, that type of thing, this is a great place to try and make some connections. So all you need to do is press reply and you'll be able to post. So that's the first thing everyone should do. Now, there's some other forums here. So the general discussion forum, you click on that to post general questions about the unit. So it might be about the unit content. You can see there's already questions in there that you should go and read because the answers are there as well. And the questions that have already been posted are about things like signing up for tutorials. So whenever you do post in any of these forums, make sure the heading of your post is really, really clear. So if you are going in to post something in the general questions, you can see the headings and you'll see, oh, registering for tutorials or online tutorials. I'll click on this and read it first because it's similar to what I was going to ask, and you may or may not find your question or an answer to your question. And then ask your question if you haven't. Now, any questions about assessment 1? There is a specific thread for that, and I'm the only one who will answer them. So that way, all students all get information from the unit assessor about assessment 1. So you'll see what I was saying before about equity. We all have access to the same information. Again, any post in here, make sure the title of your post is really, really clear so other students that have the same question can come in, easily see if someone's asked something similar before. As I've already said, there's over 500 students in this unit. So if you've got a question, I don't want anyone to ever think, oh, I can't post that, I'm not sure, I feel silly asking that. If you're wondering it, I can guarantee there's at least 10 or 20 other students who are as well. So please never hesitate posting a question on here. Make sure your heading's really clear. Now, each week, as you work through the unit content, especially for weeks 1 to 5, you'll see that there's a specific task for you to do. And I can see on here some people have already started posting some of their tasks. Depending on the tutorial you enroll in, so if you're attending an online tutorial on Monday, you'll click on Weekly Tasks, Monday Tutorials. If you're attending a tutorial on Wednesday, you'll click on Weekly Tasks, Wednesday Tutorials, and the same for Thursday tutorials. That's so your tutor that you're with each week will be looking at your work and giving you feedback on your work. And the weekly tasks that we do from week 1 to 5 are all to support you in assessment 1. So you've got a chance to practice the skills and develop your knowledge that you need to be really successful in assessment 1 as long as you complete these tasks. And I've found, especially last year, the students who did complete these tasks were the ones who submitted the highest quality assessments for assessment 1. And you'll see right at the bottom, there's an I have a question about assessment 2 as well for later on. We don't need to worry about that yet. We'll be looking at assessment 2, or you'll probably start reading about that properly in study week, so in week 7. So for our online tutorials, you'd be clicking on Collaborate Ultra. Now, depending on which unit you're in and how those units are run, sometimes you'll click in and you'll see a big list. It says here, no scheduled sessions, but sometimes you'll see a big list of all these different times and you click on the one that you're going to. In this unit, we will not be doing that. In this unit, you will come in and you'll click on the course room and then click join course room. And that's how you'll join your tutorial every time. Okay, so it's nice and easy. You just come in, click on course room and click join course room and you're in. Now, if for some reason you can't attend your tutorial live one week and you need to watch the recording, and you do need to watch the recording if you miss a live tutorial, you come up and click on these three little bars and click on recordings. There's obviously no recordings yet. We haven't done any yet for this unit, but they'll be listed here and they'll have a name and they'll tell you what week they are. You do need to keep up. That is part of your responsibility. Assessment tasks and submissions, you'll see here, if we click on this, gives you an outline. This is the information from the UIG, the Unit Information Guide, tells you how much each are worth, how long they are, and when they're due. So you'll see at the moment, information for Assessment 1 is available. Assessment 2 is not available yet. It will be available very, very soon, but it's not necessary to be looking at it now. You really need to be focusing on Module 1, so those first 3 weeks of content that are currently available in unit content, and you can start thinking about Assessment 1. We'll get you to start thinking about that in week 1 and week 2. So if you click on that, you can find out some information. We've got the assessment details. So going in here, it tells you what the assessment is about and outlines it in a question answer format. But it also has, on most of the last pages there, common questions answered. So as you go through, you can see questions. Try to understand the outline at the beginning, but this gives you more detail. So you can go through here and see if there's anything that you wanted a bit more information on. And it should answer most questions. There's a pre-approved text list. This will be finalised at the beginning of week 1. So please don't actually choose a text for Assessment 1 yet. You will be choosing a book that will be part of your assessment, but don't do that yet. So the finalised text list will be up hopefully by Friday before session 1, but maybe on Monday in session 1, and there'll be this notice will have disappeared when it's up. The rubric, this is the document that the markers use to mark your assignment. Therefore, you should read it before you start your assignment, while you're completing your assignment, and before you submit your assignment. There are some exemplars included. I'm hoping to have 2 examples of academic essays and 2 examples of the spoken presentations. So at the time of recording, you can see there's already 1 available of each. Last year's format for Assessment 1 was a little bit different. So these aren't here for you to copy their structure, but they are there to show you what a quality assessment looks like for this particular assessment. And in this section of the site, you've also got some support as well. These documents come from the Learning Zone, so you can access them all on the SCU website as well. I've picked out the ones that are especially relevant to this particular assignment here, just for easy access. You can access more quick guides on the website here. You can access workshops run by the Learning Zone, and also there's videos to help with APA 6 referencing. They're really clear and they're really good to watch. Going to the LibGuide and trying to work it out from the written format is fine if you're already familiar with APA 6 and really confident with it. But if you're not that confident with it, or there's some certain aspects that you seem to keep getting feedback on, or you're not sure why, that type of thing, these videos are really great. So I've split these support documents into 2 different folders. Here we've got support for reading and research. So these are the ones you should be looking at before you start your assignment. You can start looking through them from week 1. The next folder is support for writing and editing your assignment. So as you're actually planning your assignment, writing your assignment, and then editing your assignment, you'll use these. And then you'll submit your actual assignment down here by clicking on this link. So if you've still got any questions about the unit structure, the content, you're not sure about anything as we start this session very soon, go into the general discussion forum, put a really clear heading and post your question there. You might find that students have already posted the question that you had and the answer's already there for you to find as well. So from me, from Lisa S and Lisa B, we're really looking forward to working with you this session. We'll meet you all soon.